I didn't have enough reasons to be terrified of Antarctica, here is another one. Y'all already know how we have been covering sirens and scary creatures in the ocean that could be from the spirit realm or the result of the heavenly rebellion. Specifically, sirens. We talk about the origin, where they came from, how they became to be sirens. And if you're new to this channel, basically the sirens are the mothers of demons. Why are they the mothers of demons? Because during the heavenly rebellion, according to the book of Enoch, which I do not read as scripture, I read it as lore, so please don't come for me in the comments. According to the book of Enoch, the fallen angels, which are the angels that rebelled against God, procreated with mortal women on earth, and created the Nephilim / giant species, which is one of the reasons, by the way, Nephilim are in the canon Bible, so thank you very much, which is one of the reasons why God sent the flood. When he did send the flood, he, according to the book of Enoch, cursed the women to the seas to become sirens. And that just opened up my world. Like, I was like, yo, that makes so much sense on where sirens actually came from. You see sirens in every single piece of folklore, mythology, cultural history even. Today, we are going to be focusing on Japanese lore. Japanese siren is called the Ningyo, which I can get into in another video. We aren't going to be talking about the Ningyo right now. We're going to be talking about the Ningen, which according to Japanese lore is a humanoid, scary sea creature found where? In Antarctica. So you're telling me we don't have enough to be like, first we got Admiral Byrd flying into Antarctica, calling it the Operation High Jump, basically proving to us that there is a giant ice wall out there, saying that he actually found lush Greenland on the other side of the ice wall, comes back, tells the world, mysteriously unalive. Not even a year and a half later, NASA was formed. I don't have proof on this, but apparently NASA started off exploring the sea, got scared, and created the whole space idea, which brought up the theory that space is actually in the ocean because of certain portals, because we are in a firmament. And the Antarctica Treaty was made where everybody in the world came together, all the countries, the United Nations, and signed this treaty called the Antarctica Treaty, prohibiting self-exploration of some parts of Antarctica. We can agree on that, but we can't agree on a way to fix world hunger, you know? Anyway, then we got the giant massive holes that scientists keep on finding. I don't even want to know what's in there. Then we got the ancient rivers found in Antarctica, and the scientists said that it's clear that something prehistoric has emerged from them. Y'all could look that up, fact check it. Now you're telling me there's Ningen too? Listen, I don't put nothing past nothing. I will wholeheartedly believe that this is somewhere in those deep, dark, icy... Hold on. I'm gonna make it real dark in here to freak y'all out. I'm gonna make it smaller. Yeah. And I'm gonna put the spooky music on there to freak y'all out, because if I'm freaked out, you're gonna be freaked out. As if there wasn't enough things for us to worry about. And it's even said by certain people that supposedly have seen Ningen that they can sometimes look like this. Mind y'all, it's supposed to be 20 to 30 meters long. Look at how big it is compared to that person. Look. What if it's just like some crazy species of siren? Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm going too deep. Now I'm doing too much. I don't know, y'all. It's just a little bit crazy that it's specifically in Antarctica. Have y'all heard about Drake's Passage? Which is a passage where all the oceans connect, like the Pacific, the Atlantic, I believe. I know how y'all like to tussle. I'm not sure if it's the Pacific and the Atlantic, but most of the oceans connect in the Drake's Passage, and you have to go through the Drake's Passage to get to Antarctica on a cruise. And it's literally the scariest thing ever. Look up the Drake's Passage and you are going to be like, I would never get in a boat and sail that ocean. Just to what? Go to Antarctica and see some Ningen? I ain't gonna see no penguins. I'm probably gonna get swallowed up by the dark waters. Anyway, the Lord says that I shouldn't fear. So I'm still gonna stay here though. As always, y'all, make sure that you like and follow and comment down below what you think. So apparently the rich and famous are finding mermaids and eating them. Have y'all heard about that? It's funny how all of a sudden everybody believes in sirens now. But before, we were crazy when we said there's sirens in the Caribbean, there's sirens in the ocean. Now all of a sudden this lady talking about her rich friend that was forced to sign an NDA and anonymously shared this story about the fact that they caught a mermaid and they're a delicacy for the elite. Not everybody believe it. Y'all should have believed it when Cantinflas, the Mexican actor, the stinking rich Mexican actor, I think his real name was Mario Moreno, he was obsessed with finding sirens, mermaids. You can look it up. And he literally built a whole house in Acapulco so that he could see a mermaid, because a man came to him in a bar and told him that he would be able to see one and marry one as long as he built a statue facing the ocean and went to go look for them at 3 a.m. Why does that seem so specific? First of all, you already know that the god Dagon loves to have statues made for him facing the ocean. Look that up. It goes way deeper than you would think. And why at 3 a.m.? Y'all already know in the AM hours, creepy things always be happening. I'm not talking about that lady's son sending you that "what you doing" text. I'm talking about other creepy things. I really feel like this goes so much deeper than we could ever imagine. I feel like this knowledge is the reason why they want to ban TikTok. And even if it's not real, it's still fun to talk about. But I think it's real. I'm Caribbean, I'm Haitian, y'all. And anyone who's Caribbean, Jamaican, Haitian, any of those places, Virgin Islands, you know somebody that knows someone that has a siren story. In the Dominican Republic, they're called La Sirena. In Russian culture, Rusalkas. In Inuit culture, Kalupalik. In what else? African culture, Mami Wata. Y'all, they are everywhere. In every piece of folklore, in every country, there is some kind of story about sirens or mermaids or ladies in the water that lure you in. You literally cannot tell me that there's not some kind of truth to it. You can't. Anyway, y'all, as always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think. Reason number 8,502 that I don't mess with the ocean, the Leviathan. Can we really get into the tea about that, like for real? Because I thought that God said in the Bible that the Leviathan was unalived. But I'm hearing from everyone else that apparently there were two Leviathans, a male and a female, but God unalived the female so that it couldn't reproduce. In Jewish texts, the Leviathan and the behemoth are supposed to go head to head in the end time and be intercepted by a big colossal bird called the Ziz. Behemoth and the Leviathan going head to head sounds a little bit like King Kong and Godzilla, does it not? Again, hiding it in plain sight. Anyway, I digress. Before we get into the tea, guys, make sure you follow my backup TikTok and my YouTube just in case this one gets banned. Let's just talk about the Leviathan for a second. If this theory is correct, that means that there is a colossal biblical sea serpent out there in the ocean just lurking. And genuinely, with the uncertainty of the ocean, it could be anywhere. We got the Marina Trench, which is, I think it's called Marina. The length from the surface to the bottom of it is longer than the Empire State Building. In fact, it's longer from the distance that land is to where planes fly. Okay, just get that in your head. Then we got the Bermuda Triangle, where planes and many other things just disappear into thin air. Which out of all of them, I think that would be the least likely because the Bermuda Triangle is a little too close to land. I feel like this creature is too colossal not to be seen that close to shore. Then we have Antarctica. And y'all already know how I feel about those icy cold waters, okay? Not even getting into the fact that there's a treaty prohibiting self-exploration of some parts of Antarctica. That's fishy in and of itself. But I think that's because of the whole Admiral Byrd situation. I don't really think that's because of the Leviathan. I am more so thinking that the behemoth is somewhere in Antarctica rather than the Leviathan would be. There's literally so many places it could be. I mean, just think about the fact that the Pacific Ocean is bigger than all of the land that we have on the earth. Just think about that. Then we have the multiple anomalies like the Bloop, for example, that have been spotted throughout the ocean. Even scientists said that it came from a marine animal, then all of a sudden it was from icebergs rubbing together or something like that. I'm sorry, you cannot convince me that that's not the case. Then we have this whole thing where people were starting to see a moving image that looked like a sea serpent head throughout Google Earth. That was crazy. No one's talking about that. Overall, y'all, we literally know, I don't know what just happened, but we don't know enough about the ocean to say that this isn't the case. I'm sorry. Like, we literally have orbs that are emerging from the sea and diving back into the ocean. And then Congress was talking about there's UAPs, there's a presence in the ocean, but y'all don't believe the Leviathan are there? And then on top of that, did y'all hear about the fact that the scientists just recreated the extinct species of the direwolf? Yes, you heard me right, the direwolves, which is famously known for being in Game of Thrones. Y'all remember how I said they hide things in plain sight and we were talking about the ice wall in Game of Thrones? Yet another thing that they're showing us, the things you see on the television, they can very much become true in the snap of a finger. I am definitely going to get into the direwolf creation or recreation really in another video, probably in a couple hours. What do y'all think? Do you think the Leviathan is still lurking the water, or is this a reach? As always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think.